chairs, put those back and get more chairs. Hopefully have as many chairs as possible in the room. That's all right. The Rotary Club's 35th anniversary. That was really good. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I think it was great. Rotary Club. That's why they said yes, they said no, so they took money and I don't know. No, she didn't do it. Well, that's what yeah.
I mean, I like a lot of stuff, but I can get that.
I like a good mix. Like, it's so high. So every game, like, it's ready to go. Like, I got some water.
Well, I want to do that. I want to share your book. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, like, you already know. Everything going right. That's why Hackathon here, it's self-centered business. We do a lot of self-problems. Learning how to solve problems is we need to do everything. I'm going to give you a card. So that's the plan. So after you do the last week, I'll come up and talk.
Love it. You know, it's really cool that we're going to have enough swag for everybody to get something nice.
Very cool.
Do you want to
I like that.
Very succinct and doing well, and others is really it's really interesting. And the thing is, the ideas are all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was one of the things when I
Florida. I asked myself,
super focused on social entrepreneurship or super focused on reach out. She said, what I want to be focused on is the idea of building business and building for-profit opportunities. And you know what? I'm going to literally stop it right there. Any idea is plausible, so long as it's a business.
Right.
Why give it any more form than that?
Yeah.
And so, so over the course of the night, they're going to get
some of the things they're saying. I'm like,
it's true.
Several, I'm like, pretty sure.
But that's why I'm hoping maybe that's why I said, look, you can take your idea again, like the one kid did.
I know.
If you want it.
The one kid had a really good one. I think he went first. He was talking about awareness of stuff in Akron. I thought he was going to do it. He just never said it, And I was kind of hoping he would recatch that because that would be good.
They might. And so they're going to get different hats.
All right. I find it really fascinating. I'm relocating out there.
No, I hear you. Trust me, me too. Yeah, right. Good.
Yeah.
Tell me, where are you now that I need you? Where are you now? Where are you now that I need you? Couldn't find you anywhere. When you broke down, I didn't leave you. I gave you the shirt off my back, what you saying? Keep you warm. I showed you the game everybody else was playing. That's for sure. And I was on my knees when everybody else was praying. Where are you now that I need you? Where are you now that I need you?
Oh yeah, come back. Come on back.
Not how can it be any quieter? Hello.
All right, we're getting this going again.
We're getting it going again.
You were doing great when you were trying. Just like do that part
That volume. Is it fine?
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe we can hear that perfectly, and they were just pitching to them. So just talk to the.
See, everybody thinks I'm a project guy, but really I'm a DJ, man, at heart. At heart, I'm a DJ.
Selling it. My wife is my daughter crawling. Her first crawling. As a baby, I'm gonna stop and everything she does. And she started walking when she started
My face look water.
You see this baby.
My feet can't touch the ground, it feels like I can see the sands on the horizon and time. You are not around, so we
I was a kid, they're all crazy house parties. Yeah, and I always like put together a mix like before parties. And that would like be like perfectly like so. I mean, I've never actually like mixed, but like in terms of like make a playlist and like hold it down DJ at the party. It's like my go-to. Actually, I love it more than my class. I love getting people energized. Like all the music on the game.
my feet can't touch the ground, it feels like I can see the sands on the horizon.
I'm honestly a fan of like starting like 90s bangers and then like going like early 2000s, like mid 2000s, like or maybe like then once it's like prime work time and then like the hot like 100 like that gets people up. People love the throwbacks. And then once again, I love throwbacks. And it's like, oh snap, like this is sick. Yeah. A lot of people don't appreciate that. I love it. I mean, it was millennials, so like we appreciate the early, the mid 2000s. Yeah, that's yeah, so your favorite song right now? Right now? Nah. I don't think any like my favorite genre. Oh, it doesn't. But I mean, this gets me like I love my listen like that.
So my first idea should be
Keep in mind, everybody, that if you want to sit outside, there are some seats out there. We've got our live streaming going on, and the speakers are out there too. They'll make us stand. Very, very happy everybody has come back from intermission. We are moving right along, and we are getting some great ideas out. So now as we proceed, we will get right back in the mix. So keep your notes, keep these things tight. And let's go with number 351032. All right. All right. First of the second round.
Hello again. I'm Gabe. The word I'm going to use is going to be clot. Cool. Okay. Alright, so I don't know if you've seen these commercials on TV. It's about, like, it's like the medical commercials, like if you or a loved one has suffered this, then call this number. Well, some of the problems that I've seen on there is that people who have like clogged arteries or like blood clots and stuff will get these implants, usually of metal mesh, where they'll go in and place it where the blood clot is or whatever, and it'll expand and open up the artery, allowing blood to flow through more easily. And the problem with this is that parts of that can break off and go to your heart and kill you. So here's the solution. We could modify this to be a different material or be designed perhaps slightly different. That way parts of it would not break off, and it would be a lot healthier for the body, and less people would die. And I mean, that's kind of what we're about, right? We're helping society, and I mean, if everyone's dying, there's no society.
All right, Gabe. On that hopeful note, let's keep working forward with the problem-solving solutions of tomorrow. Let's go with 351013.
That was me, but I don't know.
Does anybody want to raise their hand to take this man's idea?
I already have taken it. I'll take it.
Well, I mean, you're the first one to raise.
Good evening once again. My name is Justin, and my word is. I'm just kidding.
What is the ticket number?
It's environment. 013.
013.
Keywords environment. So, wouldn't you like to live without having to pay utility bills? Today, that can be a reality. Let me introduce you to the concept of earthships. Earthships are structures that are made of completely recycled materials such as tires, bottles, wood, and sheet metal that are completely self-sustaining in electricity, water, heat, and food supply by using today's most modern and simple technology. And you do not have to sacrifice anything, as every luxury found in today's modern homes can easily be incorporated into the earthship while being self-sustaining. The cost to build one is cheap, and it can be done in weeks. It can be built in weeks. We can create one of these structures here in Akron to be a museum to give tours out of that can model the world's most current, sustainable, and affordable technology to inspire the way for Ohio's environmental revolution.
All right. Right. So I think what we just saw there was if anybody gets called and they are not interested in taking another ticket, if they want to offer it up, that is something that we can do. 351012. You want it?
Yeah.
351012.
Diagnosis. So, say you're feeling sick, but you can't call 911 because it's either too trivial, or maybe at the hospital you'd be in the waiting room, or maybe everything's closed and it's 3 in the morning, but you have a headache or so. Well, how about we create an app that can diagnose what sickness you have? Say you were drinking heavily and you feel woozy and dizzy, and this app will basically tell you after you put in all your symptoms that you're drunk. Or maybe that you have a sprained ankle and you didn't know what a sprained ankle was, and it can direct you to healthcare professionals who are specializing in that, such as you have heart pain, chest problems and such. Then you'll get a health specialist that can talk to you after you've self-diagnosed, and then you can speak to them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Evan. Man with initiative. 351028. All right. Very much.
Hey guys, my name is Peter. I guess my word will be resonance. And
Residence or residence?
resonance.
Resonance.
Oh,
I was
and,
talking to the woman behind the curtain.
my bad. It's like, you know, like, let's say you're very nervous at public speech, like I am, or you have to go to sleep, but you're very fidgety, have anxiety, or have to anxiety before a test, or say you want to have the motivation to do a really intense workout. What we usually use is, people say, use music to help you get into that mindset of whether to be more calm or more amped up, so your adrenaline, so you're focused and you're driven to do what you want to do. So what I want is, I want to just use acoustics according to your brain waves, and you can have a perfect resonance of whatever you need to help you. Thank you.
Nice job, Peter. 351028, resonance. How about 351040? That was you. You want to share it with somebody else?
If anyone else wants it.
Who needs a ticket? This guy does. Evan needs a ticket. Whit is your name. Whit needs a ticket. I'm learning. 051 351040. 040.
My word is preparedness. I've been told several times tonight already that I don't look like I'm in high school, but I am. I've noticed that one of the biggest problems that kids in high school have is not knowing what they want to do with the rest of their life. So, what I would propose is a website using spiders and crawlers that would search through the web and find and compile a list of internships and career opportunities and college visits and programs that high school kids could apply for and go into so that they could get a better taste of what they could do with the rest of their lives. You could have an interest inventory or a personality test to help you narrow down your search. Easy to use. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Now, thank you, Whit. How about we see what's coming out of number 351025. 025. Aha, Corey, in the back. If you want to draw, do it before you say your word.
Actually,
I'm gonna redo that pitch. So I just need the same word.
You want to draw it? You want to do it before you say the word?
No, I can just do it.
All right. And so use the same word and do a 2.0 on that.
Okay, so so this word I used last time was
revolution.
Was revolutionary. Okay, so I believe that there's a problem. The number one problem on this planet is let me restart. There's a problem that we're not tapping into one of our greatest resources, which is knowledge, because each of us embodies a certain perspective that's built by the sum of our knowledge. And the idea was to, with this format, to tap into that knowledge by once again selecting a topic and sharing your perspective on the topic so that we can learn through our differences instead of surrounding ourselves with more of the same. And the idea was to turn this into a nonprofit organization dedicated to that ideal of uniting people to talk to each other about problems that actually matter in our society. But I just wanted to clarify that with you guys.
All right, we are getting down to the wire, and as we knew, we might get some people who took more tickets than ideas, so if you don't have an idea for your ticket, feel free to pass it on to somebody else. 351-026.
Oh boy.
What's up? All right. Go time for you.
Yeah, I guess. This is too short for me. Thank you. Hi, my name is Jeremy Moore, and my word, more of an acronym, is going to be UAV. So, like many of you, I didn't come with an idea either. So what I do is I put two things that are right now innovative and put them together, and that was wearable watches, wearable technology, and drones. Drones become a huge thing. So what I want to do is I want to make these a little bit more personal, a personal UAV, if you will. What will happen is I'll attach a drone to your phone or watch, and it will basically orbit around you so you can see things farther. The benefits we can get from this is social media. You can upload videos to your friends with a third person. Hiking. You're out hiking, you get lost in the trail, or you just want to get a better view of things around you. Also works that way. But the biggest one would honestly be military. Imagine a troop out not knowing where he is, and he can see farther if he just has a personal UAV about 10, 20 meters above him. Could potentially save his life. So there are many uses for this. Thank you.
Very, very good. How about 351-022?
Alright, my name's Eli again, and this is Drones Part 2, which is Drone 2. Basically going along with the idea I pitched before, it's pretty simple to create a drone. There's a lot of software out there, apps that you can control on your phone. The main components of a drone would be the brain, which is the computer, the material for the body, which there's a lot of materials you can choose based on your application. And finally the rotors, and then some kind of connecting device for the speaker, which would be my idea of various speaker use. Like Jeremy said, there could also be potentially military applications. That would be another market. And yeah, basically it's unlimited what you can do with drones.
Nice one. Well, we've introduced an interesting conundrum here. 351-018. 351-018. All right.
Right, my word is going to be device. All right, Have you ever left your home without, you drove a little bit and then you remember, oh, have I turned off the lights, have I locked the door, and you want to check on it, but you don't want to drive back. So this solution would be to have an app where you can actually see if all the lights are on, off, your appliances are on and off, and you can, if they're not off, you can just turn them off by just a click. And what's different is from the present solutions out there, the ones they have now is a module that you plug in, and then you have to plug in your lamp to it. And the difference is this hub would integrate all of them in one, where you don't have different devices for each component. And you could turn off your lights, your TV, any device, into the home, your outdoor lights. Anything could be controlled with this device. You can set a timer, and yep, that's it.
All right. 351-027. 027.
Hello again, my name's Peter, and I guess my word will be self-rule. Yeah. Currently, I'm an electrical engineer and I'm on internship, and I work up in Moen and Olmsted. So that's 40 hours a week, and if you think about that, that's 24 hours times 7, that's 168 hours. So 40 hours a week are working, and that's a 50-minute commute, so that's about 100 minutes a day, so that's about 500 minutes a week. And just with that, that means I have about, for myself, about 53% of the week to myself. And that, when I come home, I find myself being drained. Yes, it could be exercise and health stuff, but just realizing that overall that I don't have majority of the week to myself. So I was thinking of hopefully making an app so you could actually put all that time together so you can effectively use your day for where you want to go. If you're driven by some passion you want to do, you can plot that out. Thank you.
We got some apps in this world. 351-023. 023.
That's me.
Getting down to the wire. Corey Cargan.
Okay, so the word here is going to be firefly. Alright, so are any of you guys a runner by chance? Alright, well I run at night, usually on the trails. And so it's really bumpy, there's a lot of roots coming up, and I trip very often. And because of this, I wanted to create a device that you can kind of clip onto your shoes that can illuminate the trail in front of you, so you no longer have to trip when you're running. And it's the same concept of, that they use with bikes. They have lights that you put on your wheels that illuminates the road in front of you. And it also will function as a safety device for people who are behind you if you're running on concrete. And I can see it used for walkers who walk at night. There's a whole lot of different ways we utilize that. But that's my second idea.
All right. Number 351-029. Vern?
I'll take it.
Take it. No. It's used? You already used it?
Yeah.
You mean you already used the idea or you burned the ticket already?
Oh no, I already used it.
So the ticket is still live?
The ticket's still there.
Okay, so who wants to take it? Well, let's speak. Because you called it first. This
Go
man?
for it, brother.
All right, so he's passing to you.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
That first one with Vision was awful. I'll do better. Vision 2.0. So the next step of technology is VR. Everyone knows of Oculus Rift now, or HTC V1 headsets with virtual reality. And virtual reality is the next step of human consciousness, of meta consciousness, of connected together. You can see the world in a whole new way, and you can call your friends and such, but you're doing it all with your mind. So no longer you have to hold your cell phone in your hand. No longer do you have to look for it in your pocket or take all that special time or look down. Just one thought and it's there.
All right. All right, that was Vision 2.0, 351029. Down to the wire. 351034. Leland. Hey, you? All right, you don't need to give me. All right, I'll do it.
My name is Leland, and the word that would describe my proposal the best is employment. Being an engineering student, one of the best things I find about the University of Akron is the co-op office. Now, this is an office that connects students with employers in their field of study and would give them a paid internship, and it would allow them to continue throughout the years and potentially get a job after graduation. Now, this has led to over a 96% rate in post-graduation employment in the engineering field. Unfortunately, this is not very true in the field of liberal arts and other majors. So imagine an office similar to the co-op office, but on a larger scale, that would allow these students to be connected with companies in their field and in turn get a paid internship. Now, this would benefit the student because they would have a very high paying internship, much higher than the minimum wage. It would benefit the company because they would have a skilled worker, not just anyone, a skilled worker in that field whom they could hire after graduation. And lastly, it would increase the post-graduation employment rate in their field significantly, and in turn, it would allow more students to come back.
That's all right. I wasn't going to run you out. Very good. I wasn't going to run you out. All right. 351037. 037. 351037. I know we have one person take some tickets and not do it. All right. I think this guy had his arm up for it. All right.
So this is a redo of my first idea. Awareness is a pretty dumb way to describe it. I'd like to use the word area. One of the problems we have today is a lot of people don't really know the place they live in, the place they work. Basically, what I try to do is I try to make an overall service with both online and like on the street services that like information kiosks and whatnot to tell people more about the area, like places to meet, bus passes, not bus passes, bus routes and stuff like that, how to get around, where hospitals are, where the schools are, just in like an overall over-encompassing thing. Because like cities in like New York, Miami, LA, Cleveland, they have their own information services. This would be more towards smaller cities like Akron and like maybe like Canton and stuff like that. Just so that like everyone knows like you live somewhere, but you don't even know half, even like a fourth of the city. You know, you just don't know. It's just to get everyone more aware of their area. You know, just let them know what they can do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's our second to last ticket. 351006.
Oh, that was one line.
So you could take an idea and you guys over. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Who has an idea? Did I see Corey Gargoyle with our hand up earlier?
I did, but I don't want to go anymore.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, we got an open slot.
No one else?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors. All right.
That's the Excel way. Rock, paper, scissors.
All right, no, we have to set ground rules. On the fourth, you shoot. So go 3 times, confirm each thing. On the fourth, you shoot.
Okay. Wow. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Okay. You earned that one.
I didn't take some rules. Fourth is when it counts.
All right.
My name's Justin, and my word's gonna be bubbles. I'm just gonna freestyle this one. So
So basically, students here, there's not much to do. Especially like awkward breaks between classes or at night. If you want to go do something with friends, there's nothing that you can do to meet people and be in a positive atmosphere, do something fun, except for bars. But a lot of people don't like that. I mean, I don't like that. I want to do something cool, or unique and fun. So my idea right now is to create a fun social hub for students that they can go to between their breaks or at night to do something fun with their friends that can have anything from, say, like coffee, similar to Angel Falls Coffee Shop, a nice place to chill, have a drink with your friends, or breakfast. There's no place to eat breakfast around here. You can have healthy food for healthy breakfast. And we could have bubbles there too. I just have bubble machines just all over the place, and just silly stuff like that. That's it.
All right, I like it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that in fact was our last ticket. But before we break and we get into our next roam of where we're going with this,
3 more slots.
3 more slots.
3 more tickets are out.
3 more tickets are out.
Just see if anyone else has.
So do we have any more ideas? We've got 3. I think you had an idea, right? Because you did just rock, paper, scissors. So get on up. After that, we're going to have 2 more slots for ideas. So if we have 2 more ideas to come after this gentleman, that'll be what we do. If we have more than 2 people that want to do it, we're going to get to rock, paper, scissors. Get on up here. What's the number on this idea here?
351003.
003.
What's your word?
My word is going to be money.
Money!
Who doesn't need money? All right, students need money. I mean, who doesn't? So how can we help a student start investing from a young age, you know? And so we think about an app where students can invest like small money, like maybe $10 or something. And the $10 would double in a period of maybe 1 month or 2 months to like $20. And there won't be any social security or anything. You just deposit the money to the app. And there's a set of investors, like in the back end, who invest the money in funds. They double the money, and by the end of the 2 months, you cash out, you have your money $20 back. Simple. All right, thank you.
Very good, very good. We do have time for 2 more, right, Brandon? 2 more spaces?
Yes.
2 more slots for any student with an idea. Let's do it. What's this number here, Brandon? 351
021.
021. 351 021.
My word is CRT. Alright, so how many of you have an old boxy TV or computer monitor sitting in your basements or your closets? Well, these boxy monitors use cathode ray tubes to display their images. And I found out that there's a way that you can modify these to display sound waves when hooked up to a audio jack. Using this method, you can create an efficient way to recycle old TVs and to utilize them as visual sound displayers that can be used for house parties, concerts, or any sort of other music application. This is a great way to have a fun project on the side and to save the environment by doing a bit of recycling.
All right, I believe we have 1 slot left. Is there a student in the room with an idea to pitch with the final slot? Doesn't matter if you've gone 3 times. Come on up. Take it. Take it. That's what it's all about right here. What's the number on this one, Brandon? 351
03.
0.
033.
033.
Yeah.
33, as in the year. The amount of years.
You're gonna have to say that again.
351 033.
Alright, I have a new idea. I like to call it Sky Eye, right? Sky or, you know, whatever. Like eye, like an eyeball. Yeah. Basically, I know drones was a popular sort of topic we had here. I just had an idea. essentially, this would be drones used by Neighborhood Watch and police forces to monitor certain areas for crime. Basically, like there are certain alleyways and whatnot where people might get jumped at the night. We want to keep this from happening, or like just make sure we catch the guys who do it. Like basically, the drones would fly up onto the side of the building and go sort of sideways and stick to the building because they'd have some sort of mechanism. I don't know how it works, but we'll get there. But but another thing is like it could also like monitor like school grounds, like little like recess spots for kids, like just catch pedophiles and stuff like that. It just there's so much application to it. I mean, we'll run into security issues, but privacy. But there's still it could save a lot of lives. Catch a lot of criminals.
Now that we have exhausted our pitches, we are going to move into the next phase in a moment. But for right now, before we get to the next phase, what I want to do is I want to bring up the founding director of the Excel Center, Jeff Hoffman, who's going to talk to you a little bit about why we're even doing this, why this is important, and kind of how these things can make a difference in your life. So everybody, really encourage you to sit back and enjoy Mr. Jeff Hoffman. My man.
So we want to take a minute. So I was going to do this to kick this off tonight, but I had to go give a speech at another event, so I had to take off. So sorry we're doing this later, but we really want to explain why we're here and why you guys are here and why this is important. Let me back up and tell you why we built this Excel Center. We built this Excel Center to teach people how to solve problems. We call it the Experiential Learning Center. But what is experiential learning? Experiential learning is applying the stuff you're learning in school. Go out and take the knowledge you learned and actually do something with it. The something we want you to do is problem solving. You go to school to learn something, you apply that something to solve a problem. Why is that important? But our goal at the Excel Center, the reason we want to give you experiential learning, and the definition of experiential learning, like we said, is actually trying the thing that you've been reading about and studying about. It's just taking a shot at actually doing something in the world. The reason that that's important, and this is the most important message I can deliver you guys, and it's why we come here every day to the Excel Center and host events like this, is that your ability to solve problems is the key to everything you want to do in your life. The key to having a really cool life is to be a really good problem solver. I'm going to give you some examples to kind of prove that to you guys, but that's the skill that we brought you here to teach you. Pick a problem, form a team, and attack. It's those 3 steps. The better you are at identifying problems, forming teams, which you're about to do, right? And we're going to go through that, and then actually attacking problems. That's the doorway, that's the path that to everything that you ever want to dream of, everything you ever want to do. So I'm going to give you some of my examples. One of the things, I'll just tell you a few of the things I always dreamed of doing. And again, I'm going to say this 100 times. Problem solving is the key to living a really cool life. The better your problem solving skills, the more things you're going to get to do that nobody else will ever get to do. Every cool moment I've ever had in my life came because of my ability to solve a problem in that space or that industry. So I'll just tell you guys, one of my dreams growing up, I'm an engineer too, by the way. I got an engineering degree. But you know what I really wanted to do? I wanted to go see the world. And I wanted to travel to countries, and I wanted to explore all these exotic places. But I didn't have any money to do that, and I didn't have any reason to do that, right? So I'm going to tell you what I did. I focused my problem-solving skills. This is what I want you guys to learn. Over on this hand, think of the thing you dream of. What is it you dream of doing? On this hand, figure out a problem you can solve in this world that will enable you to do that. Let me illustrate how that works. I wanted to go see all these countries. I wrote down that before I die, I want to visit 50 countries. So I sat there and thought, what would enable me to get to visit countries? Well, I need to solve some problem. Travel is what I wanted to do. So I thought to myself, if I could solve a problem in the travel industry, I would get to travel. So I will tell you guys about my very first startup. I had a job for a little bit when I graduated college with my engineering degree at a big engineering company. I didn't really like it, and I wasn't getting to do what I wanted to do, so I quit. But I'm going to tell you guys the story. The very first startup I created, the first company I created, what was I trying to do? I was trying to solve a problem in a space that I want to be in. I want to solve a problem that enables me to travel. So our very first product, I'll tell you guys a story really quickly. I was like 24 years old, quit my job, unemployed, in trouble, everybody's yelling at me. I got no money anymore, no benefits, no food. But I'm standing in an airport line, and I'm standing in this airport line waiting to check in, and the line takes an hour, okay? And at the end of an hour, I go up to the when I get up there, I asked the lady at the front, I said, are you kidding me? It took me an hour for you to print me a boarding pass. You go up there, they look at your ID, your license, they hit one button, print. And she's like, sir, you need a boarding pass to go on a plane. I said, I know, it's just a printer. It took an hour and you just hit print. And she said, right, you need a boarding pass to go through security. And I said, right, but it's a printer. Why can't you just put it over there and I'll print my own boarding pass? And she said, because it doesn't work that way. So you know what I started that Friday? My first company. You know what we did? We solved the problem. We invented those kiosks where you guys get your boarding pass out of an airport now. You're welcome. We designed those, we patented them, and we started selling them. Check this out, in every airport in the world. So you know what happened? I always tell people this. My friends called me on one Saturday, and they said, hey, you coming over to watch the big game? And I said, I can't, I won't be here. And they said, where will you be? And I said, in Holland. Tulips, windmills, rivers. That was one of the places I always dreamed of seeing. And they said, how can you afford to go to Holland? And I said, check this out, it's the coolest thing ever. It's my job. My job is to fly to a different country every single day and try to sell them airport printers. So, problem solving is what takes you to the things you dream about. Think about what you want to do and think about how you can apply your problem solving skills to that. Because we solved the problem of long lines at airports by inventing check-in kiosks, I got to go all over the world and see that. If you think about that, our biggest startup later was Priceline.com. Priceline now does business in 190 countries, right? So we started a company that let us go see the world. What is it you dream of doing? Solve a problem in that industry and you will get invited to places that you never thought you would do. Some people tell me, you know, I don't know, I'm going to say this, I'm not a money guy and I don't focus on money at all. But some people do, and I get that. That's what they care about. You know what happens when you get to solve problems that people care about? You get paid anyway. So again, I don't really like to talk about money, and I was never focused on it. But we built that company I just told you about, this technology company in the travel industry. We were already doing well. We were selling our stuff all over the world and making more money than I ever needed anyway. And then somebody came along and bought the company. You know why? Because we were really good problem solvers. So we sold the company for $100 million. I don't like to talk about money, but I was 20-something years old. So when I quit my job and everyone said you're irresponsible and you'll never get paid, turns out if you solve problems, somebody will pay you. That one worked out pretty well for us. What else do you guys dream of? It doesn't matter what the industry was. In that industry, I used my problem-solving skills that I learned in my engineering degree, right, to solve a problem in an industry that let me do stuff I never dreamed of. But I want you to think about this for your problem-solving skills for every dream that you have. I really wanted to be in the music biz, and I'm an engineer, okay, with no rhythm, can't dance, can't sing, no way to get in the business. So I started asking people, this is what I want you to think about, guys. Think about what you dream of and think of the problems in that industry. So I went to the music biz. I said, I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't write, I can't produce. Is there anything I can do for you guys? I said, what problems do you have in the music business? And you know what they told me? They said, we don't know how to we're not good at marketing and distribution. We write songs in our basement, but no one ever hears them. We got to figure out how to get music to the world. So you know what? I'm really good at distribution, but I studied the crap out of it. I said, I'm going to be a problem solver in the distribution industry. And I worked really hard to learn it and develop the skills to solve problems that musicians didn't have. What it was I was the business guy in the music industry. It's called the music business, right? I took all my business skills and I went back to these people. So a couple of things happened. Some of you probably heard me say this before. But last year I had one of the coolest moments of my life. Last year I won a Grammy. And I was standing on the Grammy red carpet. And people were saying, how the hell did you ever get here? You're an engineer. And I'll tell you the answer. Because I am a good problem solver. I figured out how to solve a problem that an industry has. That's what gets you invited to the dance. One day, I get this phone call. I don't know what kind of music you guys are fans of, but it's Nelly, the rapper. If you guys know Nelly and Hot in Here and all that stuff. He said, can you come see me? So I go to his house. I'm standing there with Nelly, and I was like, seriously, you're calling me? I would do anything. I'm a big fan to meet the guy, and he's got his arm around me. And I was like, under what reality? Why are you calling me? And he said, because I got a problem and you know how to solve it. Right? And I sat there and thought, this is another moment that I only ever dreamed of. The only reason I'm there is because I solved a problem. You know what it was, by the way? Distribution. You know what his idea was? Apple bottom jeans. You know what he said? I know how to write songs, I just don't know how to distribute products. He said, you know how to distribute products. Can you help me set up that company? And if you think about it, we did solve that problem. So many of these artists, even Beyonce's, everybody's clothing line have failed. But apple bottom jeans make $600 million a year because we actually solved the business problem. Everything you want to do, will be a function. I'm just going to tell you 2 more quick ones. I always wanted to make a movie. And my friend said, dude, you're an engineer, you don't know anything about it. So I did the same thing. I went to the industry and said, what problems does this industry have that they can't solve, that they don't know how to do? You know what? They have 2. Nobody knows how to finance. Everyone wants to make a movie. Nobody knows how to finance it. And nobody knows how to distribute it. And I thought, wait, distribution, that's that thing I studied that I know how to do and I can solve distribution problems. So I said, would I be of use to you if I could solve your distribution problems? They said yes. So I can just tell you, take you to a day that we were having a red carpet premiere in Hollywood at the Mann's Chinese Theater of a movie we made. The first movie I made, we went out to Hollywood and made our own movie. It was a scary movie. It was a horror flick called Cabin Fever. It's on Netflix right now and Showtime. But we made our own movie. In fact, if you go see it, they kill me in every single movie. So you'll see me die in all of our movies, in Cabin Fever and Hostel and all these scary movies we made. They have this little joke where they kill me in every. But the point is, the only reason I was standing there at the end was because I solved a problem that got me on the team. It got me a chance to do something. That's why you're at a hackathon. That's why, by the way, you guys are the ones that respect yourselves, because it's Friday night. You could be anywhere doing anything and you're here. You know what? When I look back and see the people that led really cool lives, it's the people that did what you guys did. It's the people that took themselves seriously and showed up when everyone else took the easy path. Right? People look at me now and they say, oh, that guy's so lucky. There's no lucky. There's Friday night, spending the night at a hackathon while everybody else is a party. Right? At a party. And you know what happened? Somebody said to me once, they said, Jeff, I don't want to spend my life missing parties. And some other kid turned and goes, dude, his whole life is a party. Okay? I would never say that, but if you earn it, nothing good ever happens to you until you earn it. So I'm proud of you guys that you're here tonight, that you're spending your Friday night trying to improve your skills. When you develop those problem-solving skills, amazing things happen to you. That little movie, because I'm good at distribution, we made that movie ourselves, Cabin Fever. We wrote it, we shot it, we produced it. My friend Eli Roth had never made a movie. We made the movie together, our first film. Like I said, Eli and I were all even in it. I financed the movie and distributed it. We made this little movie for $1.3 million. That's real money, but it's not Hollywood money. And the movie made about $90 million in theaters. So guess what? We got to do something we wanted to do, and I don't even care about the money, but we got paid again. Follow your dream, but develop a problem-solving skill. I'll tell you the last one because it was a cool moment for me. I just remember, I saw one day on TV the pyramids of Egypt and people on camels, and I was like, man, I want to go there. And I was thinking, how am I ever going to get to the pyramids? And I'll just tell you the end story, and then we'll move on with this thing. I got a call with a really cool moment, and I found myself giving a speech in the White House at Obama's request, after which Obama said, can we get you to go to Egypt? And I was like, are you kidding? Not only am I giving a speech in the White House and walking around and meeting the president and everything, but Obama's asking me to go to the pyramids. I said, why do you want me to go there? And he said, quote, there's some problems we need to address, and you're really good at solving them. Would you mind doing that? So you are here to learn how to form teams and solve problems. But when you leave here, what I want you guys to think about is your problem-solving skills are the key to everything you ever dreamed of. If you can create value by solving people's problems, you will have an unbelievably cool life. You will get to do stuff that no one else does because no one else will ever get the phone call from the White House or Nellie or whatever it is that you dream of because they don't see value in it. So we really applaud you guys for being here with us tonight. We are here all night. We have a lot of mentors that we want you to thank them because they're here voluntarily to help you guys learn problem solving and develop your skills. So please thank the mentors and use them, by the way. When you form your teams, mentors are all over. They're giving up their weekend too to be with you. Ask them, engage them in your teams. But you're here to learn how to solve problems, and that's the reason we created the Excel Center. Thank you guys very much for spending part of your weekend with us.
How does anybody follow up that? Well, I haven't been to Egypt, but I have been to Akron, and I have been over there at the computer putting together, with Ricky's help, a platform that would allow us all to crowdsource the vote. You know, we figured, let's go to you. Let's ask you which ideas you thought were the best. So while everybody was giving their pitches, we were back there capturing everything, and we put together a Google form. We've got everybody's email, and we're going to be sending out the link now. It's going to come to your cell phone, and you'll pick your favorite 5 pitches. there'll be the numbers of the tickets that were next to it, as well as that one word. So then you can identify, and you're going to go through and you're going to pick your top 5. We're asking that you do that by 10:30, and the reason that we give that amount of time is because we're also going to get a group pick. I figured you guys are all pretty hyped after hearing Jeff's stories about Nelly and like President Barack Obama. Right? So let's grab a group photo, let's get some air, let's go pick, and then we'll come back together and we'll enter the next phase of this amazing evening. Thank you.
All right, guys, so just meet me out here. We're going to do a couple group photos, and then everyone's going to get time to do their picture. And if you don't have a device to do your voting, after we do the picture, come talk to me, please.
What are we doing, sir? Here's Joe.
Excuse me, man.
I'm assuming you're asking us to do it? No, one has an error. Thank you.